Let's talk about earning money, but probably not in the way you're used to hearing about it. We're going to set aside all the hype and look at the simple, quiet principles behind how income is actually built today.
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? If you've been looking for ways to earn more, you've probably waded through a lot of confusing advice and empty promises. It feels like there's one simple truth that always gets lost in the noise.
So before we can get to what actually works, we first have to clear away some of the myths. These are the ideas that honestly stop most people before they even get started. And once those are out of the way, we can focus on the core idea, the real work. This is the simple, foundational principle behind almost every single reliable income stream that exists.
Here's the most important thing to understand. Real, sustainable income isn't about finding some secret loophole or a clever trick. That stuff is always fragile, and it never lasts. Instead, it is earned by solving small problems, consistently. Think about that. It's about finding a genuine, small problem people have, and then just showing up day after day to help solve it. That consistency is where all the value comes from.
So that sounds simple, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Well, this idea of solving problems usually takes one of three main paths. Let's walk through them.
The first path is skill-based income. This is the most direct way. It's simply you applying a practical skill you have to help someone else, often a business, who needs that specific problem solved.
And these don't have to be some rare, exotic skills. We're talking about things like editing videos, managing data, or just writing clearly. These are the kinds of fundamental problems that businesses need help with every single day.
And this is such a key mindset shift. The people who succeed with this, they did not start as experts. They started by being useful. The goal isn't to be the best in the world on day one. The goal is simply to be helpful. Usefulness is the real starting line.
Okay, the second path is about digital products. The idea here is really powerful. You solve a problem one time by creating a simple digital asset, and then that one solution can be delivered over and over again without you needing to be there every time. And again, we're talking about simple things. It could be a well-designed checklist for a confusing process, or a helpful spreadsheet template, maybe a small tool or a short guide that just saves somebody time.
The third path is what a lot of people call the creator economy, but we need to look at the real version. It's not about trying to go viral or becoming famous. It's about building income through trust and clarity.
You see, with this path, the income doesn't come from a single viral moment. It comes from slowly earning an audience's trust by consistently providing clear, helpful information. And that requires just trust, clarity, and patience.
Now, all three of these paths, skills, products, and building trust, they all depend on one critical thing. Let's call it the unseen ingredient. It's what most people underestimate, and it's the reason so many give up.
And here's the quiet truth. Real income does not look impressive in the beginning. That is why most people quit. In those first few months, your results will feel tiny. They won't look like much at all. And that slow, unimpressive start, that's the test that filters almost everyone out. The journey of growth almost always looks like this. You have the beginning, where it feels slow. Then things start to slowly compound on themselves. And eventually, that leads to predictability. It's not an overnight explosion. It's a gradual build.
And that's really the goal here. It's not supposed to be exciting, just reliable. The aim isn't to chase some huge windfall. It's to build something steady, something you can actually count on, because it's built on a solid foundation.
This brings us to a really important distinction, the difference between income and wealth. Your income is what grows when your skills and your systems compound. But wealth only grows when that income is managed wisely. You absolutely need both. One without the other never works. A high income with poor management just disappears. And great money management with no income to manage is just a theory. They have to work together. So what does this all mean for you right now? Let's talk about your practical start. How do you take these ideas and turn them into something you can actually do? It's simpler than you might think. It really comes down to these three steps. First, start small. Pick one small problem you can solve. Second, stay consistent. Just commit to showing up, even when progress feels slow. And third, measure your actual progress, like one new client or one sale, not the distracting hype you see all over the internet. And we'll end with this thought. Money does not change life overnight. That's a myth. The real goal is to find the right process, a process of providing real value consistently, because over time, that process, it changes everything.